Hey there, Wes Dove with Dove Development and Consulting. Real quick, I want to give you a bit of a synopsis or summary, if you will, of what you can expect over the next several days from a daily dose of leadership. But before I do that, I want to just touch on a couple things that we've got going on. So Cindy and I right now are working through the process of filling the group for our 2020 Executive Leadership Elite Think Tank. So that's a quarterly group of business owners, high-level executives, CEOs, etc., that we meet with quarterly that culminates in the Live to Lead Harrisonburg event Executive Summit, that we really are strategic about how do we keep the conversation around intentional leadership development. Now, the fact that someone owns a company and them being a leader isn't necessarily a guarantee. The two don't go hand in hand. However, the best companies are intentional about making sure their owners and high-level managers are intentionally growing in their leadership roles. That's a group that we've put together. We actually started the thought process just over a year ago at the 2018 Live to Lead event with the intent of how do we keep that intentional focus? How do we put iron together to sharpen iron? How do we get the right people in the room that they can continue that growth process with one another? And it's been a cool experience. We're moving forward with that. So some other things we've got going, not this Thursday, but next, November 21st, we're hosting an encore broadcast of the Live to Lead 2019 Live to Lead broadcast content that we got licensed with from the John Maxwell Company. We're doing that for where all ticket sales benefit the Harrisonburg Rockingham Chamber of Commerce, and we're also doing some special stuff to benefit the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. So if you were not a part of the 2019 Live to Lead Harrisonburg, it's a great opportunity to catch that exclusive content. If you were a part of the 2019 Live to Lead Harrisonburg, you know how powerful that content was, and just know that you've got a great opportunity to send people from your organization and take advantage of it. Next thing is Cindy and I are starting to prepare right now, doing a lot of stuff in and around John Maxwell's 2011 book, How Successful People Think. And we're really building towards both from an exclusive offer that John put out for a digital product they released from the John Maxwell Company. We're building towards an event that we're doing that kind of builds on that even in the March timeframe, that we're going to do a virtual mastermind group study of that digital product and his book, How Successful People Think, where we're going to have probably 30 to 40 folks that participate in this 6-week course that really takes leadership thinking to a whole new level. And finally, I'll touch on what you can expect this week from a daily dose of leadership. Now, that said, last week I really focused on Chris Hogan's message in the 2019 Live to Lead broadcast, where he talked about servant leadership, and he talked about, the idea of if you take the responsibility of a leader, you're not at the top of the pyramid, you're at the bottom. The weight falls on you as a leader and us as a leader if we've taken that responsibility. And how do we serve everyone above us? Meaning our direct reports, their direct reports, and so on. How do we build that culture that says the leader's at the bottom and is responsible to everyone else? From there, he talked about some different things that I used some of that content also from a book from John Gordon, the carpenter, I've been working through. Phenomenal content where it's really about serving, and I shared some ideas on how to become a servant leader. I shared an example last week of a dear friend of mine, Mark Stroop, who is a phenomenal example of a servant leader in his role, in what he does in his professional career, what he does for his community and for his church, and in his role in the board of supervisors in his county and so on. And what I'm going to do in the next message, which at this point is going to be Tuesday, November 12th, I'm going to wrap that up and say, here's some things that you get when you're a servant leader. And then I'm going to roll right into the importance of being intentional when we're developing ourselves and our leadership abilities and skill sets. So that's what you should expect over the next several days. The last thing I guess I'll share is real quick. Cindy's hosting in her Maxwell Speakers Club Harrisonburg an open house locally at the Harrisonburg Rockingham Chamber of Commerce this week, November 13th, and there's still a few complimentary seats left if you want to come in and really understand how to deliver that message, how to be conversational but effective and powerful in what you share with your audience and why that matters. Get one of those complimentary seats. We'd love to have you sit in with us and really learn about the Maxwell method of speaking. With that said, look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. God bless.